Hello, everyone. I'm happy to see you on our webinar at People First Club. I'm your host, Anna, and I'll be happy to invite a very special guest from Amsterdam. She is a technical recruiter, a sourcer. She built tech and product teams since 2008. And I'm so proud, and I want to highlight not her hiring experience, more than 600 developers, implementing hundreds of sourcing strategies, consulting more than 100 companies, perhaps someone you know, Les Viber and Miro. Maybe you use these tools as well, almost every day. But as for me, I want to highlight your caring about sharing knowledge and volunteering. Alla, thank you so much for saying yes to my invitation to speak up in Ukrainian community, People First Club. I'm really happy to see you here, and thank you so much for spending your time with us today. I know that you have a special present for our community as well. Is it true?
For sure, yes, always.
Oh, and by the way, everyone, we will work directly in the chat today. We'll have a lot of communication, so I can see from the very beginning that you start with a very good note. So this is a webinar where we can work a lot together, when you can ask questions whenever you want. So please be engaged, and let's spend an evening together. Alla, I'm so happy to have you here. How are you today?
And thank you so much for the invitation. I'm actually excited because I do know a couple of people from this amazing club, and I think it's awesome name, People First, because that's what we do, right? So it doesn't matter if you're a recruiter or you're a sourcer, so you put people first. Yeah, I'm very excited to share the knowledge, and I have some instructions to give to the attendants. So let me know, Anna, when we are ready to start.
We are ready to start.
Okay.
I see more than 90 people, 100 people online with us.
Wow, that is great. Okay, that's great. So I'm using two screens. That's why sometimes I look in a different directions. So please don't pay attention to it. I'm gonna share my screen just to make sure that you can see it. And I'm gonna use the chat very actively to check your questions. So let's see if you can see my screen right now. Just shared. Yep. There's a presentation in there. Okay, that's great. Let me know in the chat if it's if it's big enough. Sometimes people can say, "Hey, I don't see the text" or something. So let me know if you don't hear me, don't see me, if the presentation is too small, anything that makes your experience uncomfortable. So please let me know. And yeah, let's start. It is just 5 p.m. In the evening in Amsterdam, so it's still like a very, very working time. And I hope that at the end of this session, you will have some tricks, some tips, some tools that you definitely would like to try. And I wish that you will not go to do anything else before you try some of the tools and start your day tomorrow in a different way. So the topic of today is step-by-step sourcing strategy. We picked up the full stack engineer position because it's one of those that I work a lot, of course, and it's also one of those that we would like to have one person doing two jobs. So yeah, so that's the reason why I decided to go through it, because it could be a little bit more challenging than I thought initially when I was working on this role. So one of the things that I would like to ask you in the chat, could you please type how many hours you source weekly? So for example, I start with myself. I source around 30 hours per week.
30 hours?
Yeah, like that's my, let's say the biggest amount. The rest of the time I spent on reaching out these people that I found. So I'm not sure if the chat is frozen, but yeah, I don't see any answers.
Because there is 1 second
delay. Okay, cool,
delay or something like that. So
okay, no worries.
1 or 2 seconds. So
yeah,
people help us, please. How many hours weekly do you spend for sourcing? Okay, here come the answers. Bojana, 20 hours.
Oh, I didn't
Lydia,
see.
around 30 hours. Okay, Lisa, 10, 15, 35, 45. 20, 32, 3 hours per week. Okay. 25, 30. Okay, around 20. Maybe
Okay, now I got it. Okay, now I see it as well. Okay, this is actually great, like 25 hours, 30 hours, because if you are a recruiter and the sourcer, so it's always a chance to find the time for sourcing. If you're dedicated sourcer, so this is different, so right, so you should find the time to source. Great. Everyone is going to benefit out of it, even if you source for a couple of hours, or if you never tried it and you're very curious, and also for those who just started or very junior as well. So no worries. For the experienced ones, we have advanced features too. Okay, and one more question before I'm beginning the presentation. Could you please write me what type of roles you're working on? Because I would like to keep in mind these roles during my presentation, so I can make examples of some of them. That you specifically work. For example, you work with data engineers, you're looking for designers, you're looking for, front-end developers, maybe
iOS developers or
exactly.
project managers.
Yeah.
What is your main focus for?
Yeah, with project managers, probably I will be not that helpful. So I felt like you opened the role and it's a little bit easier, like people applying actively. So when I open the role for developer, I don't see applications. So that's why, QA automation, amazing.
Salesforce
developers.
Engineers mostly, React developers, front-end, back-end, full-stack dev, Android dev, back-end, front-end, DevOps, application security, SOC analyst, QA automation, CTO, Magento, React developers, test automation engineers, front-end developers, QA automation engineer, DevOps engineer.
Nice. I really feel for those.
Oh my God, a lot.
Yeah. I really feel for those who are looking for DevOps, because it's still such a big challenge, like even in developers community discussing like what is DevOps. So this is great. Okay, perfect. Yes, I can't help with HRD, but the rest sounds very familiar for me. This is great. Okay, so let's begin. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, Anna, I'm good to start.
Well,
okay, thank you.
Good luck.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So Anna made a very nice intro about me. So these are the great companies I've worked in. Right now, I'm a part of the Riot Games talent team. A lot of things that I did were in startups and scale-ups. It means that usually my goal is, okay, I have hundreds of openings and I have a limited time, and usually these are all senior people and I need to find them immediately, right? That was the type of pressure that I used to work in. Okay, so what is the plan for today? We're going to discuss the sourcing strategy step by step that I create for full stack engineer roles, and I will try to keep in mind the roles that you just shared with me, so that you can ask also specific questions. Hey, if I'm looking for QA automation engineers, or this sometimes also called SDT, would it work for me or not? So please feel free to ask any questions. So the plan for today is to go through the strategy. So which steps I'm following to create, in my opinion, the strategy that leads me to closing my role successfully on time. We will discuss the role, the technologies, and where and how we do that. So the first one is the full stack role. So there are different ways how you can organize your strategy. My suggestion right now is, if you can open, I don't know, like Notes or Evernote or anything you use, and make the notes for yourself right now, so that after this presentation, you have the links, you have some thoughts that you can try on, okay? The ways how you can put your strategy together. So some people use Excel. Just simply Excel, that they create the links. Oh, I use this link, I sourced on LinkedIn, I sourced on GitHub. So it's like a log or history of your sourcing efforts. I, for example, like to use Miro. I'm going to show you later. And also one of the really working tools for me is to use slides. I know it's a little bit strange, but all my sourcing strategy is in one place, and I can share it with my colleagues, because most of the times we either sourcing together or we are using each other's links or tools. Like, so it's always some kind of like a teamwork. If you working alone on a team, choose whatever you like. Trello could be also great because you can move easily the blocks, you can tag things, you can send reminders for yourself. So there's a whole history, Airtable, whatever works for you. So the presentation is a little bit easier for the demonstration, but I will show you how I do it in Miro. Okay, so the first step I do when I have a role, of course, I sit down myself before I'm talking to my hiring manager or before I'm talking to anyone that is gonna be making decision for who I hire these people. I sit down and I dive into the details about the role that I just got. In case with full stack, I have to divide it in two parts. I have to divide it in front-end part and back-end part, because full stack basically is like two different jobs done by one person. But also, most of the time when you interview full stack developers, they also say, hey, I'm a little bit leaning more towards front-end, or I like back-end more, and so my skill set is more back-end, so I can do a little bit of front-end. To understand this role very well, so you do need to know what is the difference between them and what are the key technologies I use, languages, libraries, everything that can help you to better understand the role. So that's why, in a way, technical recruiters and technical sources, they should own this piece. They should know the technology stack altogether to understand. Like, for example, if your manager is saying, hey, on the front end, they can't be that flexible. And this, because that's like there's the three primary languages, JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. So most of the time it's JavaScript. It could be vanilla JavaScript. Then when you talk to the engineers, you hear what frameworks they're using. We will get there, don't worry. But for myself, I like to start, like my strategy starts with a dive deep into the specifics of the technologies that are used by people that I'm looking into. For example, I found a nice article saying, hey, this is the front-end developer. What do they need to know to be front-end developers? It's a nice blog post I'm going to share with you. And I was like, okay, so what are the let's say skills that they needed for this person I'm looking for, some explanations, what is that, how is it connected, how the framework work, etc. So it will make you stand out among other sources 100%, and will make your hiring managers happier because you do own the subject. So no worries, I'm gonna share this with you. And yeah, you can read it later. So just save the link for yourself, okay? Yeah, so then I put all the links I found. So I in one place, then I go to backend engineer. So I'll go, okay, so what are the primary languages? It's actually more, I can see. I'll fix my presentation. It's interesting part, like Node.js, some people like, they would say it's not a language. Some people say it's a language. It is easier to double check yourself, like to Google, okay, so what is the actual, let's say, definition of what I'm looking at. So Python, what type of language it is? Is it easy to move from Java to Python? These are all things that I Googled before, and I'm preparing for my sourcing sessions with my hiring managers, so that I know which languages could be nice to have, which languages could be replaceable. For example, when I was looking for Ruby developers, I use some techniques, like, for example, I do just a simple X-ray of LinkedIn in Google, and I check how many Ruby developers are in the Netherlands, and I saw that were around 2,000 people. I already gonna prepare my hiring manager that's if we stack only with Ruby and a very specific framework, We are not going to probably make a hire in the upcoming months. So we have to be careful. And I also think that it's part of the job of the sourcer to know what is the situation in the market. Of course, recruiters as well. Yeah, we can have the tools to double check, okay, what is happening in the market? Like how many specialists of this or that language are available right now? And yeah, so that's what I will do next. I found also this very nice article that I'm going to share with you as well. It's like a beginner guide to backend development. Also, these are all links, they're clickable. I can double check some nice the things that compare, like what is the front end, what is the back end, what is the difference between them. It could be a little bit more technical, but I at least try to look into some things that are doable for you. For example, type of the languages, how they connected between each other, and so maybe you can ask your hiring manager, hey, which databases we are using? So which other alternatives? If the person used this and that, is it going to work? Because once you found the way to find the profiles, you need to select them. And it will be a waste of everyone's time if you're not selecting the right profiles, right? So it's just, again, it's a simple article. I think, yeah, you can find this also in Russian for sure. But yeah, that's very helpful. What I'm doing next, so after I went through this, I go to like technologies, and that I use for full stack engineers. A little bit more dive. Which tools could you use for checking analytics markets? Alex, a good question. So there is a paid tool that is called LinkedIn Insights. I was really actively using that, so my company was paying for it, and LinkedIn Insights show you competitors, companies that's hiring the same people, how many specialists of this sort are on the market, where they're located. So I will be transparent. So I use the paid tools for that. But if, for example, if I don't have anything like that, like Google Analytics could help, but you need to know a little bit how to use it. But I just did a simple X-ray, like looking on LinkedIn, how many people are with this particular role. I'm going to show you when we go to the X-ray search that I do. I'm going to show you how I do that. I do use it for approximate understanding how many profiles are just accessible right now, so that I can think if it's a big pool or not. Because if you see only hundreds results, you already know that you're in trouble. If you see hundreds of thousands results, so yeah, you probably have something to choose, depending, of course, on requirements, because some of the requirements are very strict. But yeah, so that's what I used, of course. And yeah, about technologies. So my next step, and I'm sure. So please let me know if a glossary tech is something that you use. But this is something that I'm very, very proud. Andrei Statsenko created this amazing tool, and I've been using it for years. So what is it? It is actually it's called Glossary Tech. It helps you to find all the terms and their definitions, even connections between them. And this is something that I'm very actively using all the time myself at my work. Oh, it's actually made disappear my tools. That's a funny one. Okay. So let me see if I can fix it.
Maybe you can show it on LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Yes, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to move first my screen. I'm going to show you guys. That's an interesting white. I'm going to show you on my friend profile. Okay. Okay, you can see my screen, right?
Yep.
Yes, Joshua, for example, yeah, I use always Amazing Hiring free extensions. So if you're not using, please do. It's easy and nice. And this glossary tech, if I click on it, so it's going to highlight things for me on the page. It's going to give the definition of it. So the great thing about it is also when you're sourcing many hours, I don't know how you guys, but I get tired. and I get also like my eyes, I can start, missing things. And it's very helpful, especially in CV. When I find someone's CV, I always use it. So if it's something new for you, it's going to open the whole new world. It's a little bit, behaving funny right now, but it's usually super fast and super efficient. So it's also, you can go in there, and on this website, it's also free. And you can also read what is that, the site reliability engineer, and you can find a little bit more information on it, what are the other things that are related to it, and it's done for recruiters, by recruiters, so it will make you, when you're sourcing, you don't need to go anywhere, and you can see the term already, while you're on the profile. Okay, is it relevant for me? Okay, the person worked with this and that. So that's a very nice tool. I'm gonna close it right now. So I do believe I shared the link. Let me go back to the screen. Yes, it's a really great tool. Yes, thank you, Maria. I think it's amazing. Yeah, for some reason it's eaten the words on my page. So, but yeah, the main idea is JavaScript actually was the first word. It's a scripting language. So I write the definitions for myself or make the screenshots so that I can, I don't need to try to remember it, but I have it's somewhere stored. Again, it could be an Excel file, it could be Evernote, whatever works for you. And I'm going to look into it later. Okay, so what are the all JavaScript frameworks? And then I can go back and I can make links. I can go back to the glossary tag, and I can, when my let's say negotiations with hiring manager are going to happen, I'm going to try to ask additional questions about other frameworks. Hey, if the person worked with React, so how likely, how happy they're going to be if I find someone who knows Angular as a main framework. Also, the more you engaged with software engineers, like reading their blogs, being part of the community, so the more you know when you hear that they would like to have less framework type of engineers, they would like to have good JavaScript engineers, knowing the language very well, and then they can use any framework and learn it very quickly. So that's why that's gonna make your conversations on a very different level with your hiring managers. So is there any questions on this stage? Let me know. I'm keeping my eyes on the chat. So yeah, that's after this I feel very confident. Okay, I have some understanding what is the front end, what is the back end. I try to make a connection between them, and I try to see how many front end. Okay, I need to switch it off. Okay, guys, sorry, it's for some reason. Wanna delete everything from my. That's an interesting bug. So I'm gonna report it to Andre for sure. So I'm gonna get back to my presentation, guys. Fixing on the spot. Okay, much better now. Okay, so if you have this in front of you, you can start saying some things as well. Okay, so TypeScript actually was some people say it's a language, some people say it's extension for JavaScript, etc. So the more things you get into, I'm going to share with you some materials to read that also could be helpful for you, no matter which level you are, like a junior, senior, sourcer, or recruiter. So this is great. And next step in my sourcing strategy that I do is that I'm sit down with my company hiring manager or the CTO or VP of engineering, and I'm going through the technical stack. If you work in the company for some time, you already know these connections, right? Look, you know, okay, what cloud technologies we use, what are the languages that we use, what are, let's say, alternative languages, libraries, frameworks, everything. And I truly ask a CTO to help me out to build this technical stack that not only I can answer the questions like what we are doing as a company, but also what technologies they're using, so that it's when I do the reach outs, my reach outs also going to benefit out of it, because I can explain using the technologies that we use in my reach outs, saying, hey, we just moved from Java 8 to Java 11. So right now we actively move into the microservices. It's going to take some time. Our backend is on this one. Our frontend is that, and our cloud technology, so that, etc. So it makes such a big difference for candidates as well. So one of them tools I'm using also for sourcing reasons, actually. If your company put it public, that's one thing. But if not, so you ask your hiring manager, hey, please give me all the information about our technical stack, how it's connected. Or you can go on the stack share, and so you can browse stacks, and you can find the stack of the company that you're particularly interested. You know, for example, that Uber is your competitor, and you're wondering about, so first of all, you see the followers. That's, as a source, I will be already intrigued because I'm thinking, okay, so I can I don't want to use the word scrape, but can I have the list of these followers and see if there's someone worth of contacting? I will be also looking, okay, this is the members that could be very senior people that I will be very interested to reach out. For example, engineer manager sounds exciting. And of course, I will have a look at the company technical stack, because one of also great thing is it's explained how they use it, develop the open source, end-to-end distributed tracing, this and that one. So this is like a whole new let's say journey for you as a sourcer to take, so that you can see how other company operates, and you can use it in your source and reach outs. Like for example, you can say, hey, I know that your company uses these frameworks, but we use something more modern, so maybe it's going to be a logical step for you. And I think it's actually one of the great things to do, to think about why you're reaching out to this person, of course, but also, do you think that the company that you're asking this person to join is going to make the life of this person more interesting and more exciting? So that would be my suggestion. Look into a company stack and thinking, okay, maybe I can use some advantages. If you're not sure if you're doing this right, so you can always ask developers to help you to form your message, or more experienced person. So, but don't be afraid of doing that. So once you make a mistake, like you will remember it, you will learn from it, and so you will get better. Like, I don't think anyone mixing, and I actually hate when people say like, hey, Java is not JavaScript. Of course, we don't know the technologies that well, but we can be better at it. So we can spend some time. So that's a nice tool. Please do use it for your sourcing strategies. Okay, so my next step would be like where and how, right? So after I let's say get through the details about the technologies, I'm becoming more curious about how people that I'm looking for call themselves. And I start to Google for the open jobs on LinkedIn. So this is usually how I can see how the company call it. But to my surprise, companies usually call it differently than the engineers or developers call themselves. So in my strategy, using developer and engineer words will be always present, like, because someone can call themselves developer, someone engineer. So this is the must-have. But the rest is I'm playing these words. I'm trying to find the profiles and to look how people call themselves. And whenever I'm doing sourcing, I'm adding these new names in here, so that I have later a nice list that I can try and create a Boolean out of it. So that's why you see front-end developer, front-end engineer. So it means that it's going to be or front-end developer or front-end engineer. They can also call themselves JS. It could be JavaScript with slash. It could be website software developer or software engineer. Front-end with slash, without, together, with small, with big letters. So all the things I like to have it in one place, so that I can see if one of the titles is going to be, let's say, effective for me, right? Before recently, searching by title on LinkedIn, in my opinion, was one of the most effective one. Right now, if I'm not mistaken, Irina Shamaeva recently posted something that's the sourcing by titles became a little bit more challenging. I encourage you to check her website, but still, the looking for titles actually work for me always like the best in my sourcing history. What's next I will do? So I will try to create a little bit more relevant titles. So first, like I gathered everything about the front end, everything about back end, and then I will look into full stack. So I found that full stack could be like 2 words. Yeah, blog here, blog post. Thank you, Anna, for sharing. Yeah. It could be full stack together, etc. Slash and developer engineer. So I'm gonna try to create my bullying based on that. One thing I also would like to share with you, whenever you build bullyings, there is different tools for that, right? So let me share it in the chat. I like this one very much. I'm going to post it here as well. It's, it's, you call it like a bullying builder. So it's very easy one. So because there are so many of them, so you have 3 tabs or node and. It's not created by me. So it's from the sourcing community. I don't see the author, but thank you to this person many times. This actually bullying builder is very easy. So you can really play with it. For example, you have a list of names and you would like to do the diversity sourcing. For example, you would like to put the women name in the chat. Like, for example, we can do Maria, we can do Alex. So I'm an and, sorry, I don't want to do and, I would like to do or, because I would like to have different results, right? Yeah, so I will do Maria, I will do Anna, I will do Alla, Olga, etc. You see that is building everything for you. So you just copy them without extra bracket, and then it's done. It's very easy to use, and yeah, thank you for the person who did that. But there are like several of them available for free online. So I hope it's going to make your life a little bit easier and faster. Okay, so that will be something that helps me to build the Boolean searches. And what's next I'm going to do? So yeah, there are some tools. Let me start actually with Recruiting. So probably you already know it. Let me check out the link. So for example, when I didn't have experience with building my Booleans myself, so I was looking for alternatives, like some kind of things that could help me to just put the words and create the search for me. So Recruitment is one of them. It could do the X-ray on LinkedIn. It could do the same on GitHub, or if you're looking in Germany, so with Xing. If you have a good experience with Xing, please let me know in the chat, because for me, it was not a great experience. I didn't find a lot of profiles when I was focusing on Germany. So, but yeah, like GitHub, yeah, I will show how to look on GitHub, but if you're relatively new for building the Boolean strings, so you use this one, it's very easy. So you choose the country, and this I use actually for the very quick, let's say, analytics on the market. So I'm going to do full stack developer. So it's already offering me if I would like to do something else, full stack developer or full stack developer, full stack sounds good to me, but I would like to do it as the engineer. Okay, sometimes you would like to add some words that's going to be included. For example, in my case, Java was a must-have, and things to exclude. For example, I don't want to have anyone with PHP in their experience. And then I go to LinkedIn search, open Google, and I have some good results. One of the interesting observations that I found also not long time ago, but it could be interesting. Like, I would like to ask a question in the chat. Have you noticed that you see you have many results, right? Like lots of pages. Have you noticed that after you were somewhere at the like 20th or 30th page, it still showed you like it's a like 100,000 results, but then when you reach the last page, it actually was like 300 results only. Like the difference between the results that you see in here is like way too less than if you go to the last page. So I'm going to try to experiment right now. It's 10,000 results. Let me know in the chat if you ever experienced anything like that. And I did find something to do with it. Okay, Anna, you're the most active participant. Okay, that's cool. So I'm gonna in the 22 page. So I would like to reach the final page. Yeah, some trash after the 30th page, like absolutely not workable profiles. And yeah, I'm gonna just finish this experiment with you guys, because like we should always try everything. Okay, so this is the 30th page, and you see it was 10,000, but now it's 300. So yeah, you've noticed this one as well. Like, yeah, the last page were not relevant at all. So what I suggest, and it's actually helped, try another browser with the same string, with the same request. So I tried Bing, and it showed me a lot of results. So Safari actually a little bit less. So DuckDuckGo also a little bit less. So it depends probably sometimes on requests you make or like what you're looking for. But switching to another browser was actually super helpful. So if you ever reach this problem, because when I do try to analyze how many results I have on Google, I can't say my manager that, okay, so there's a 10,000 results. It's not going to be true. So the truth is it's around 300 results. And I'm already thinking, okay, I need to make a little bit maybe proper search on it. So yeah, so that's the observation I had. And it's a nice thing to know, right? Especially if you're sourcing all the time and relying on the results you found.
So Alla, do you recommend Bing to...
I would say I recommend to double check it in every preferred browser. Yeah, exactly. So,
and also I can see that you're
yeah.
using auto-pasteurize, yes? Like to scroll the search.
Yeah. So we will get there.
Okay.
Yeah, because I do a lot of automation. It's a big part of my sourcing strategy. I'm not sure how much time like we will have to spend on it, but I will try to pay some like to divide some time on it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, using others. So I'm not sure on which place Twitter is in your sourcing strategy, but I will be very transparent with you. It's one of the best in my sourcing strategy. So you can use Recruitment to help you to find a thing on Twitter. Yes, they have a Twitter, or you can create your own searching results based on just trying to train. Let me see. Yeah, you should try it without brackets. Let me probably fix it. I'm copying the same that I did. Yeah, it's asked me all the time. That's okay. Yeah, like 600 results, but I can play with it. This is the full stack engineers, the people who said that they are full stack developers or engineers on Twitter. And it also has location. So this is already very helpful. And these are the users. So it's a clean, nice sourcing strategy. I do use Twitter a lot. I use Twitter for searching based on the hashtags, based on the conferences, because, for example, when I'm at the conference, like via developers, it's one of the biggest conferences in Europe for software engineers, and I see people hashtagging it everywhere, and then I can find them. So let me show you one of the examples. So I'm rushing a little bit, but yeah, let me show you. So this is, I'm not active on Twitter myself, but I do use it for sourcing every day. So I go in my Twitter account. So for example, I was looking for Rails developers, but then I wanted to find like a women community, maybe. Rails, I started to Google Rails girls. I thought, okay, so there is Rails girls in the Netherlands, in Vienna, etc. So I do go there and I'm checking like, okay, so how many followers they have, and I can scrape the list of these followers and try to work with this very gently, very careful, very respectful. I'm not going to email all these people. I'm going to look if the profiles are relevant, and then I'm going to delete it and not and mention, always mention when you find someone's profile. Right now, I see a lot of talks and recommendations about, hey, you can buy data on the dark web. Yeah, sure, you can. But do you want to do that? Or like to find the very tricky ways of someone's contact details. Sometimes it could be a little bit creepy if you mention like, hey, I saw that you bought milk last Tuesday, so maybe it's time for you to buy a new bottle. So it's a true story. So I'm saying like the story from the candidate who received it from a technical source and was like really freaking out. So the person knew their buying habits, shopping habits. So we should be respectful, and I think that mentioning, hey, I found your profile on Twitter, on GitHub, or like using the third-party, paid third-party tools, it's going to be absolutely okay. So people, I think, will appreciate it. So we are going to get back to this one, no worries. So Twitter is a big part of my sourcing strategy. So I share with your recruit team as well. What else I do? I subscribe for companies who are hiring for specific people on LinkedIn, so that I see, oh, okay, so they're hiring. So this is also gonna probably be like alert for me that they also have these people, so that I can headhunt from these companies. So yeah, this is how I use it. Maybe that's not the way how they invented it. This is something that you probably know, but I would like to also share with you, because we are going through the full stack developer sourcing strategy. So I do love Stack Overflow, and I every day open it to read the news, the things that are happening. The question about the Twitter. Twitter, I do believe it's not only for Europe, so it's actually popular everywhere. And you can, Maria, you can do the experiment right now. May I ask you to try to look for the most popular conferences that you can recall, and try to find them with the hashtag or just by the name. That will be my first suggestion. Just try to find something that you already know very well. Like, let's say, I don't know that many communities, to be honest.
For example, you can use Cocoa Heads Ukraine. For example, it's a community of iOS and macOS developers.
Cocoa Hat Belarus, they say no. Berlin, Stockholm, Montreal. Belarus is already like, yeah, helpful. Maybe they're like that. Sometimes it could be based, yeah, so maybe it could be country, it could be city, maybe something else. Like, think of something that you definitely know there is a group of people, or the name of the conference, and try to look into
it. I
it.
can share with the Ruby community.
Tell me.
You can type PeopleOps like that. And
you're typing it in the chat?
Yep.
Okay.
It's a Ruby community in Lviv.
Okay,
and
nice.
You can find Ruby developers there. Yep. That's great. Okay, that's perfect. That's our poor community. We have 100 resources. Scrape them all. Okay. So yeah. So you see the followers. So now there are different ways how you can work with this. Yeah. So go ahead. Yeah. So Evgeny, you found it on Twitter account. Amazing. So you can also keyword
leave it, Arena. Okay, nice. Thank you, Oleg, and thank you, Evgenia. So I will leave it open because I have a page where I'm going to show you some of these things. Okay, so to come back a little bit to Stack Overflow, so I showed you, you can look on Stack Overflow the profiles, right? So let me actually show it to you. Stack Overflow is still one of the most favorite tools that still help me a lot. At least developers have the profile in there, right? But I would say full stack is tricky. So I see more success if there is a specific language. So people sometimes don't call themselves a full stack. They just call like a backend engineer and they can do some front end. So yeah, I won't say it's so popular among developers to use a full stack, unfortunately. So we need to figure out based on their profiles, right? So sometimes you can also, like, I don't know, guys, if you're aware of it, so please let me know. I'm really curious because this is old but very nice working. So I'm using here, for example, a specific language, PHP, for example, and a location. Let me see why I'm using both, because I love Kiev, but Kiev could be with Y and with E, so it's tricky. So you have to choose both ways how it could be written. So now I'm running the query. So what this request does for you, this request shows you the profiles that are based in Lviv and the ones who have a particular language in their profile. So it's taken usually a little bit of time, but it makes your life also a little bit easier because it's already creates some kind of table of users. So it depends what you like. Also depends what your automation skills as well. So it's a little bit faster usually, so let's give it a go. And in the meantime, yeah, please let me know if you have any questions in the chat. And yeah, sourcing.
Yeah, I think there was one of the questions from Alex before, how to find the rest. It was after the when you do the at the end of the query on Google, you have like 30 pages only, and he asked this question.
How to find the rest? So you won't find them in the same browser. So to find the rest, you will have to use the same search that you have, the same Boolean that you used on Google, and just go to another browser.
Yeah, or he's asking whether we have to build a custom search engine.
Yes, I have a link for it. Like, it is a good, let's say, way to do that as well. But I just found it faster to just go to another browser. So, but it definitely works. Okay, so guys, I'm not gonna take more of your time. Usually, it's much faster. So, try this one. You have a link in the chat. So I'm gonna check it later if it's accurate. Yes.
Oh yeah, finally.
Yes. The moment you give up, right? Oh. So yeah, this has people based on this country. So this is some the results that you get, and I always double check if they're relevant. I open at least a couple of random profiles if they call themselves anyway, like full stack or like anything, but I was looking for PHP. That's why you will not see full stack. If your request is specific, for example, full stack, I don't think, and I actually checked it with Stack Overflow, it's not going to give you clean results. So that's why it's easier and better to do the X-ray in Google and use the word that you're trying to find, right? So you quote it so that you get exactly the result you're looking for, and you can make it even more efficient. You can do full stack engineer so that you're not missing any results, and you see how many results you have, right? And they're all going to be relevant and located where you need, right? So can you do the location? I wonder. I don't think so. Let me add Netherlands in here. You see, I love sourcing because this is all the time. You can do different things. You can play with it, so you can add things, and you can get some extremely great results. Sometimes you stuck and you don't have any results. So that's the beauty of, like, you're never bored. Of course, GitHub is going to be also a bigger part of my sourcing strategy. I'm not going to spend time on it because there is a super detailed webinar on it available online. If you're interested, I'm going to share it. It's Irina Shamaeva. She explained like everything you need to know about GitHub. I even like not going to spend time on it. So, but I like Git Awards. Also, I'm going to share it with those who are not looking for full stack, because I wanted to mention this one if you never heard about it. So Git Award has a very nice search based on the city or the country, and based on the someone's like top users by city, for example. You go here and you choose the language. You choose yeah, I'm not sure if yeah, showing submit. Yep. So here you go. You have results. These are the top contributors on GitHub. And Git Awards just generate this nice report for you already. So you see that these people have a start, because that means that they're popular, they're active. So that could be quite senior profiles. If I'm going to be looking for senior profiles, I'm definitely would be interested to check this out. Yeah, nice profile. Like this person really want to be contacted. He has a lot of social media. So this is great. Next thing that I will do is I will go through the community. I would like to make some small demonstration. Could you please help me and share with me any meetup that is happening in Kyiv or Lvov or anywhere? So just share with me the meetup that you're particularly interested. And I'm going to show you what I'm usually doing with the meetups.
1 second, need some time to Google.
Of course. Yeah. So I can show in Amsterdam, but that doesn't, like, if it doesn't work with the new one, so I'm going to share something that I definitely know that works. So, but it's also okay, you know. I still have like very experienced sources. I had some technical issues, troubleshooting, and being really happy about it. So let me.
Okay, I see, for example.
Could you please repeat the name of the GitHub search webinar? Yes, I'm gonna share the link when we get to the. Let me do it right now, okay? So I'm gonna share it because that's very, very detailed one. So I believe you can still register for it and have it, okay? While you guys are looking for the meetup, I'm gonna looking for the link. So it's like a sourcing party. almost like a sourcing party.
Who will be the first to find an event?
Yes, yeah, let me know.
Somehow the meetup is like not so fast as well today. Everything is against us.
No problem. It's a practical workshop. That's one of the reasons why I'm very happy to be here as well, because it's practical. It's not about something that is irrelevant or something, right?
Okay, I can see QA online today. 1 second, I'll check it out.
Now I'm almost sure that I can find it right now. I'm a big fan of everything Irina does, and yeah, like always very thoughtful. Or actually, this is about the titles. Let me share it with you guys in the chat as well. You start like sourcing for one thing, you find another one. That's a good thing. Okay, and almost there. Meetups is something that I believe is very popular in Kyiv because I was invited to many of them. So I do believe that it should be something that you use on you can use for sourcing strategy for sure.
Can you use groups as well or only events? For example, I found
send me the group. I can try to do that.
Okay, 1 second. Here we go.
Yeah, and I found the recruitment paradise, it's called. Okay. Okay, we found it. Okay, so this is the link for Evolution Live webinar. It's a very detailed webinar on sourcing on GitHub. Enjoy. Okay, so I think Oleg shared the event. Let me see. The group on Facebook, it is not something that I can do the demonstration on, unfortunately. It should be a meetup. Not the Facebook. It should be meetup as
you can check my link
website.
in the chat, meetup.com. You can see.
I can make a demonstration or anything else. I just wanted to make it more relevant to you guys.
Can you check my link in the chat, please?
Your link
I
in the
think
chat,
it's
please.
force.
Oh no, I'm okay. Sorry.
I know it's relevant, but still, it's a group with 2,000 people in Kyiv. So
Okay, yeah, that could work. So this is the group. Yeah, so you can join the group or you can go to the group members, right? So, and one of the things that I will look into. So there's some of the groups when you join them, so you see the full name. So right now it's a lot of people with just one name, right? Not every, but quite a few. And when you are a member, so you have more information. So when you join the group, so you can try to do the following. Like I will try to do it without the joining. So there is a Chrome extension that is called Instant Data Scraper. So I just click on it, and it's gonna make a list of the names and links to their profiles on this meetup group, so that I can open them and I can actually even message in here. And so the response rates for the groups here was very high. It was actually more than 70% people replying. So you can scrape the whole list of people. You can download it in a report. I'm going to show you. There is also like a lot of tutorials, like don't worry, but it is very basic. I don't use that much of the advanced features, to be honest. I don't scrape like hundreds of people because I do try to find, let's say, like more quality-wise candidates. So I'm not trying to like contact 200, 300 people at one time, right? So that's why I don't go for very big teams. So what you see the name of the person, but if you are in a group, so you most likely should see the full name. And then you can try to go to Excel file. You can try to cross-reference this link, this file with their LinkedIn profiles. How you can do that? So there is another tool that is called Phantom Buster. So who heard about Phantom Buster? Yulia, good question. So yeah, it does work on other websites. It could actually scrape your X-ray search as well. So let me see if I can do that. For example, this one. So this is the results. So usually it should work and make a list of, yeah. So it could scrape your just X-ray results. This is so handy. This makes so much sense. And then, like I see the user, so then I can clean it. So I delete the user, delete the Stack Overflow, and I have the whole name of the person. I have a link for the Stack Overflow, and based on the name, I can cross-reference with LinkedIn. You can do it like manually. You can just copy the name, go to LinkedIn, find their profile, and maybe contact persons right away, delete it, and add the person in the talent acquisition system, whatever your processes are. And this is how you can efficiently work with these tables, right? So you download them, you can create the Excel file, work with it, clean it, contact people, delete it. So this is the routine. Have you guys heard about Phantom Buster before?
Yes, I did.
You did. Okay. So, okay, Anna, we're going to have a separate session with you. So, okay. So guys, so someone else. So if someone heard, if not, so that's no problem. I'm going to show you something. So I'm using the free version. So yes, you've heard, that's great, Valeria, Anastasia. I'm sure you're probably happy users. So, but now one of the benefits, and I like, let's say, using Phantom Buster for diversity sourcing. That's probably strange, but this is how I do, because I use it in a combination with Twitter. So, for example, Phantom Buster, I have 10 minutes to, let's say, scrape the profiles, right? So, Phantom Buster has different phantoms, meaning sources. So, it can do for you the download from Slack, from GitHub, from Quora, from a lot of things. LinkedIn is very strict, so I'm always like saying, hey, be respectful and probably be also careful, because if the platform mentions that you violate the agreements by scraping, I would not recommend to do that. For example, I don't scrape profiles from Discord because it's a direct violation of the agreement. So just be mindful, be careful, right? And when you do, for example, I do like Twitter, and I don't use like automating subscribers, so all my subscriptions, like 100 subscriptions, are real. But what I like to do, I like to maybe to look into the followers, and I'm going to use this Phantom. So what I'm gonna show you, it's again, it's free, it's very nice, it's easy. You connect to a Twitter account, and so you choose, for example, I'm going to choose my friends, Joshua, let's see. You can find the person who works in your company. For example, you have a very popular VP of engineering. So Joshua, he's a CTO, he's a great person, and he has 300 people. So this is the people that are interested to follow him, meaning they're probably friends, they're probably hanging out at the conferences. And one amazing thing about Twitter as well is that, yeah, you can send a message to the person, right? But you can also see some kind of activities, like to support some kind of personal aspect of this person, right? So, oh, you're interested in these games, or you're listening to that music. Again, not being very creepy, but mentioning some personal things, appreciated. Then if I'm interested in this particular person followers, like let's say we work in one company, and sometimes you have a company subscribers as well, followers, sorry. But in my case, it's millions of people, so it's not doable at all. So that's why I will look probably individually or based on the groups. So, for example, we mentioned this nice group. Let me find it. Anna, you shared the group.
People Rock.
Yeah, I forgot the name. It was Pivo. Is it like?
Like that.
It's not connected with beer, or it is?
It's connected. It's connected with crayfish and beer.
Oh, nice. Okay. So yeah, you just go and sorry, I'm gonna go. Yeah. So this is the profile. I'm gonna copy the name, right? So the URL actually, and go to my Phantom Buster. Put it save. This is not relevant for me. I'm agreeing with everything. I did manually, means one time. So I just download, work with it, delete it. So that's again the routine. I click launch. There's also a video from MatchHR, I believe. Adrian himself was doing a video tutorial. So you can look into more details, don't worry. So there's everything is available online. And this 800 profiles are going to be downloaded right now. And it's not going to take more than a minute, I believe. Even less, I see. Yeah. And then I will show you why I also love Twitter as well. It's fast, so download. So I'm gonna show you what I have. It's the old one. Okay, this is new one. So What I like about it is that you see the full name. This is really helpful, right? And you also have a bio, so you can more easily delete some of the not relevant profiles for you, right? If you see someone as a recruiter, so you delete right away because you're not interested in recruiters, and so you can leave people that you approximately think are going to be relevant, right? So this is fast, nice, and could create a nice routine for you, right? So like first, go to the relevant group, scrape it, go through the profiles, clean it, contact, delete it. So I hope it was helpful, but it's a very big part of my sourcing strategy. And there is presentation also very, very detailed, created by Glenn. I'm going to open it. So it's about data miner. You can use it differently. Glenn got Mahir and Jason Liu. So they made an amazing job to really explain everything in here. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time. It's pure gold. So please, do use it. Tag Glenn, say thank you to him if you're going to use it, because I'm using it and always thanking him for that. So also, what else is part of the my sourcing strategy? So I put universities, certifications, some kind of context. So I do know that QA engineers, they do have online contests. It's where they compete for between each others. Please try to Google it. I can't. It's not on top of my mind, but it is. There are QA conferences, QA communities. And I found some of the groups on LinkedIn. I joined the groups and I was also picking carefully people and contacting them. And it was a very good strategy for sourcing for QA automation engineers to join the groups. So here, for example, you can see LeetCode is a very popular tool, but probably not, guys, let me know if you use HackerRank and if you use LeetCode in your companies for checking developer skills. It's like instead of test assignments.
I don't think it's really popular in Ukraine, but let's wait for the chat as well. So
if it's not popular, then I'm gonna
Yeah,
Anastasia, I believe I shared it. Please let me know if you see it. Like two messages below. HackerRank, you see it. Okay. Okay. So, but HackerRank, it's a little bit different. No worries. Like if you know some of the competitions that are online and happening, for example, like if you're looking for data engineers, you go on Kaggle, right? So, and you're hoping that you're going to find great people in there. Okay, so social media. Did you know that you can source on Clubhouse? Please let me know, plus or minus. So it's also something that I recently found out.
Is it still alive?
The good question. It is still alive. So, and if you're like, this is my philosophy. If there is a possibility to create an account, should be possibility to source. So this is like the philosophy I'm following, right? If I can have account, I can scrape it. So I just shared the link with you guys. So I'm going to open it also myself. And so the Clubhouse, this is like a database. I believe this is the one that was probably posted online. Poor people, but you can try to go and look for communities in Berlin, for example, something that's interesting for you, and try to connect with people. Let's say these are the people who are based in Berlin, and just again, be mindful. Mention that I found this data online, and I just want to connect. So, but these are the real profiles, and this is a very big database, and again, if it's sourceable, so and I'm going to just share it because I know it's not that popular in Europe, but I do believe that it could be relevant for you guys because you probably source on Telegram actively. So I have spotted complaints from developers that they don't want to be contacted on Telegram, So I think we also need to be mindful about it. But finding sometimes relevant groups on the Telegram that's discussing, let's say, Ruby or full stack development, you can join the group and you can send a message in there saying, hey, I'm a recruiter. Yeah, throw the tomatoes on me. But if you guys open for me, for example, if you're okay with me, if I'm going to share some job posts or anything, let me know. Because in Discord, what I love about Discord is that when you join in the communities, so I'm going to show you something, I have a slide about it. When you join in the communities, so you can have a dedicated channel in it where you can post the jobs. Some of the jobs are paid, some of the jobs are absolutely free, and the people are okay with that. So, and I think if Telegram also allows you to create these channels where you can post the jobs and someone can follow you, this is great. But I shared with you, yeah, like on GitHub, it's not easy. So I will be transparent with you, the scraping, but if it's something that you would like to try, again, being very careful, yeah, that's definitely, there's an opportunity in there. Yeah, so I'm gonna be mindful about the time. We do still have time. I do want to cover as many questions as I can, so that's why I'm going to try to speed up a little bit. So yeah, you mentioned the custom search engines. So this is the tool, the opportunity to create your custom search on Google, right? So there's opportunity to learn how to do that. That's not that hard actually, but it's very helpful. Here I found a very nice list of some tools and some already generated customer search engines for you. I'm very happy to share with you. Try to find the relevance, because some of them could search for developers, searching on Stack Overflow. I love the open source one. So it could be about data search engine, mobile game producer. That's a funny one. Actually, I need to check it myself. So yeah, just again, happy sourcing. This is an amazing list available online. There's lots of things that we're already done for you. Sometimes you just need to Google first if it's already created by someone else, and then do it. Yeah, what I'm like, also one of the biggest parts of my sourcing strategy is the communities. I'm going to also share the link. There are a list of communities in Slack that I'm going to join, but I will be also honest with you, it is more popular in Europe, that's for sure. So I don't know if I am part of some of the Russian-speaking Slack communities. I haven't tried to find it, but yeah, it looks like Discord and Telegram are winning the market, and this I believe that's where you have to be. If you're looking for international market, definitely check out Slack. Is one of the first things that comes to my mind. There is a nice community. Let me show it to you because you were looking for QA, a lot of you. So it's called Ministry of Testing. That's a funny one. So it has a lot of users. So let's say people who follow in the jobs is 3,000 people. So you can post the job in there. And when I worked in Miro, I was posting jobs in here as well. Again, it's a Ministry of Testing. It's just a community. I just Google Slack community for QA, and people mentioning like what do they do, what they're looking for, and so they do post the jobs. Yeah, so I will definitely then get how to use the Telegram scraper. The link opens like a repository. Yes, Julia. So that's the tricky part. So you have to follow the instructions in this repository. So there is a code written for you that you need to run on your computer. So I will be transparent with you. I didn't do that. I do know that it's relevant for those who are using like Ukraine, Russian, Belarusian locations, like a country. The source, if you're sourcing in there. But yeah, it's a little bit more technical. So what I suggest, don't do it alone. Try to grab a couple of people that are also interested to try and try together. It's doable, but it's going to take a little bit more efforts to use the scraping on Telegram. Sorry about that. So, yeah, it's a little bit more technical. Yeah, one more thing. I do make a list of industry heroes, like the people who are like very famous speakers on the topic I'm looking for. And of course, I also make a list of the conferences that I do know I need for myself to check them on Twitter, to check them somewhere else in the Medium post, etc. And there is a very nice website. I don't see. Let's see. Yeah, there's 3 conferences. Let's see which ones. IT Arena. I think Oleg or someone else mentioned it, right? Yes.
Yep. It's coming up this week.
Exactly. Wow. And the Lviv Game Dev Conference. Oh, I'm so jealous. I think it's amazing. So you can look for people hashtagging themselves on LinkedIn or Twitter or any other social media, even TikTok, right? So with this, they do that because the conferences usually encourage people to use the hashtag because they give some promotions, etc. So this has been quite, or I'm following the conference that I'm participating. So you can look into followers as well. So that will be definitely another thing. Yeah, I will look into sponsors on these conferences. Yeah, and there are other things that I will be already like a little bit less in the top of the priority. I will look on the freelancers. Sometimes a very good freelancers could be convinced for a very good position in the company. I will look into Reddit. I will look into, I will try to find some of the examples of someone's CV. Or like, I'm sometimes searching based on the email. Now let me share the one that is for CVs, so you can double check yourself. And what you do, you just replace the full stack with the relevant name for yourself. So this is a little bit more advanced type of the Boolean, or that exclude job posts, some examples of the CVs because you don't want to have a templates, etc. So just replace the full stack developer with front end or something else. SlideShare. That was a very nice experience that I also, like some time ago, I discovered that you can source on SlideShare. And this is where you can also find quite senior people. And these are their profiles, and you can look into their nice presentations. Or you can also, like, there's a list of people. You can use your instant data scraper, make a list, and try to cross-reference with LinkedIn and see if they're relevant profiles. It is a big manual, so I will not call myself that I'm a super expert in like automation. I do the basics to save the time, but I haven't found a very efficient way of cross-referencing LinkedIn yet. So, but yeah, maybe technologies are going to be developed a little bit faster, and it will be a little bit less manual. So Discord, I mentioned, yes. So the list of conferences, the things that inspires me, and because we're working in the IT like department, let's say in IT sphere, so I would recommend to look into some nice YouTube videos. This is one that I'm following specifically, Tech Cookie. So he has a lot of playlists about some technologies he used. There is something a little bit even more basic, but I do like to watch something that other developers are watching and try to understand, like, okay, so if these people are speakers, maybe some of the senior, maybe some of them I can pick up, or just learn something, right? Okay, so how much time we have? Because I feel like I'm starting to talk faster and like being very worried about the time.
It's okay, we have like 11 minutes left.
Yeah, okay, so that's great. And Maria, very nice message. Yes, so as we discussed, if let's say the social media that you're using is against, if you're violating the rules, it's your choice, right? So, but yeah, to be banned, it's an unpleasant experience. So you can create some different ways how you can do that. But I think the best what you can do is join the group. Expose yourself, say, hey, I'm a recruiter. So see if reaction is okay, not okay, and try to create a relationship saying, hey, I will not post anything if you guys, girls, like against it. So I'm here to learn, and you can try to build the relationships, right? So this is good. And what else I wanted to say? Yeah, I have a nice video. I don't have the link for the video, but I'm going to edit It's about like if you really stuck with something. So I have even more tools that you can grab and try to add to your sourcing strategy. But out of so many tools, the ones that I'm demonstrating to you, I'm using daily. It's a short list. It's up to 10 tools max. I use Mixmax to optimize my reach outs. Like I have sequences created so that my messages always personalized, the first ones, but the follow-ups could be repeated, because that's something that it's not doable the way, but yeah, the second message is usually you're just checking the person saw your first message, but the first one is always individual. Then I use Calendly so that anyone I need to have a conversation just booking it themselves, so I don't need to worry about, hey, what time, when, whatever. So this is the things that helped me to optimize my time so that I can spend it more on sourcing rather than figure out what time someone can talk to me, right? And I have a nice tradition. I think it's nice. So I would like to send a nice piece of chocolate from the Netherlands to someone who is going to answer the question that I'm going to show you now. I call it like a playtime. So what is the let's say the requirements to get the chocolate bar? So you need to be the first one to send the right answer. Okay. So they're going to be a question, and they're going to be one answer that's going to be correct. Anna, I'm sorry,
I'm not a
participating. Yes, okay.
No.
Yeah. Just to make clear, okay. Okay. Yeah, let's see. This is Lulu. Lulu is my main champion that I'm playing in the League of Legends. This is the game that I'm playing the most, so I call it just playtime. So it's just the name of the character. But yeah, no worries. There's no question on this slide yet. So, there is a question. There's only one correct answer. So you need to be the first one to type it in, and the one who is going to be the first one will contact me or Anna and give the address, and then I promise to send the best Dutch chocolate myself from Amsterdam to your location. Okay?
Oh,
Are you
wow.
ready? Okay, because there is a delay, so that's why, yeah, be careful. Try to be the first one. Okay, so I'm going to put this slide with the question and the answers right now on the screen. What specialists you will most likely find on Kaggle and Quora? Designers, full stack engineers, data scientists. Let's wait for the winner. Anna, do you know the answer?
Yes.
Okay. Anastasia was the first one. Okay. Yeah, right?
Yep.
Okay. So Anastasia, you're going to have the chocolate from the Netherlands. Please do contact me or Anna.
I'll take I have an email. Okay. I see an email, so everything fixed. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for putting the correct answers. Thank you so much. There was a hint I actually mentioned during the presentation. So I wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure that, yeah. And yeah, that's a quick overview, and I'm gonna show the sneak peek on my because I promised on my own sourcing strategy. How do I do that? Because presentation is one way, but I'm gonna show you like my way of doing that. So I use Miro. I like Miro board for its, I've been using it for years. I like it for flexibility. So this is, for example, site reliability engineer sourcing strategy. So I just put the stickers all together. Yeah, but what do I have here? I have all the titles I need. I sourced all of them. I have the biggest community that I already contacted and posted the jobs, and I've tried to contribute first before I was taking something out from this community. All the technologies I need, some nice engineering blogs that are relevant to me, other things like, for example, there is Mark Doble from GitLab. So we are colleagues, and he's just an amazing person. There's an amazing podcast, and he was looking for GitLab SREs a lot, observability SREs. And I once came to him saying, "Hey, I think I've tried everything," and he was repeatedly saying, "Orly team," and I was like, "What is Orly?" And apparently, observability is short only. So and this is how the team can call themselves. And this is actually brought me some really good results on my sourcing using abbreviations. So this is also one of the things you can do. And I also interviewed some of the employees who are already doing this role, and I've got the keywords from them and how sometimes they call themselves, like chaos engineers. Like, wow, that's that was something that I found also just because of talking to the people. Yeah, so I keep the sourcing strategy in here, put a lot of things in here, there and there. So D&I, a lot of things that I need to know, all the community, how to search by names, etc. So that's how I do. But try to pick the way that is going to be the best for you. Presentation, or Trello, or Evernote, or anything else. So I will be very curious, maybe in the future, to know what you've picked up and how big is your sourcing strategy, and what are the tools you've learned, what were the new tools for you. So definitely gonna be very happy if it was helpful.
Okay, and I can see some questions coming. We still have 5 minutes to come.
Yes,
and
sure.
Please
want to stop sharing.
Yeah, we can stop sharing and pick the questions. So I have a question from Maria here. Where do you think it's the best to contact candidates? LinkedIn for me is the best place, but unfortunately has certain restrictions. Second place, Telegram, but it is that good channel to contact candidates.
So you have to A/B test the channels, right? So first thing I pay attention is the response rate. So with LinkedIn, response rate is quite low. So I try to find someone's email by using the paid tools or just on GitHub, anywhere, like Amazing Hiring, and just to try to contact the person by email and mentioning how I found it. So it's proven to be one of the best source, but I also do know that it's very popular practice in Europe. But when I was giving some workshops for my colleagues in Belarus, and some in Ukraine as well, so they were saying emails are not very popular. This way, I would say try to, if you send the message in Telegram, you're sending the personal message. So this is the space where people usually talk with friends, right? So maybe I would suggest to try to avoid it and try to contact the person still on LinkedIn. Try to make your message as nice as possible. Say, hey, even like at first I thought I'm going to contact you on Telegram, but then I thought, hey, I'm respectful with your privacy, etc. So I'm going to try there and try, etc. So usually, making it personal makes your chances to have a response higher. But if we're talking about the best places, LinkedIn is a professional place, so I would go with it always. And if you're restricted, you don't have enough credits to do that, so then I will try to find someone's email. And if I have no other ways, so I will be very transparent, say, hey, I actually didn't want to contact you on Telegram, but it looks like this is the only way I can reach out to you. I'm very sorry, but blah, blah, blah. So that's what be, but Facebook, again, if it's the group, you can send a message saying, hey, I found you, we are members of the same group, or in Twitter, hey, we are members in the same group, or I saw that you're interested, etc. So it's good.
How can I find you on LinkedIn? Please send the link. Oh, for sure will. Can you share the link in your profile?
Yeah, sure.
It will have hundreds of followers more.
No. I'm very grateful for all the followers, and sourcing is fun job. I've been full-time recruiter. I've been full-time sourcer. Right now, I'm like in the hybrid version. I would say the sourcing gives you so much energy and so much tools. So as a recruiter, you're more powerful. As a sourcer, you're so helpful for your team. So we're doing a very important job.
I have a question, Alla,
sure.
as well. You told you use Mixmax and Calendly.
Yeah.
But you have like 10 tools that you use them usually every day.
Miro is one of them. Currently is for booking the calls with me. Mixmatch is for reaching out to candidates to keep a track. It's a paid tool, but it's not expensive. It's super helpful. Okay, so next one will be Phantom Buster, Data Scraper, Evernote, because I keep the history of my sourcing based on the tool. Every tool has a separate folder in there. So I do the Gender Decoder. This is the tool for analyzing your messages, or Hemingway also for analyzing your titles that you send, because title means a lot. So someone sent me the message, actually like 7. So I don't know if I can name 3 more, but 7 is good. Sounds good. I received the message, should I stay or should I go? That was the title. And then the person was reaching out to me to approach me for one of the tech companies. And I was like, should I stay? Should I go? What is this? So I was really interested, what is the person, maybe it's spam, but I do open spam sometimes.
Thanks for sharing. Guys and girls, thank you for being so active today. If you have any questions more, we are happy to stay for a couple of minutes.
Yeah. And about your roles, anything if you're sourcing for something else, let me know.
Maybe you have some favorite tools as well. Okay, one more question from Maria. Could you please write what the tool with the check-in titles and messages? How would the tool for titles? Yeah, the same question.
Yes, it was, I believe it was Hemingway. So let me open one. Yeah, so we need to find a way, sometimes all the tools, but when you need to send the link, so you need to keep it in one place. That's why I like Miro as well. Okay, while I'm searching, is there any other questions? Because I don't see the chat right now.
By the way, you're asking about sharing the links. We will collect all the links that Alla shared today during the presentation and send via the email. And for those who are in our closed community, People First Club, they will put into our library. And so don't be afraid to lose any links here in chat.
Yeah, so then I'm going to find the link for the titles. I'm going to edit so that you have it. It's again, it's Hemingway. Yeah, will you share the glossary, please? The glossary, you mean the link again? Yeah, the links.
I think Anastasia has already answered.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. Again, there are much more tools, right? And I'm going to probably add also one of the presentations that I made with more tools, but you could be very overwhelmed. You just need to pick the ones that works for you and try to maybe limit it for the purposes you have. Because for hyper growth, when you need to hundreds of profiles, I think scraping and using these kind of things like Phantom Buster is inevitable. You have to do that, because otherwise you will not generate the necessary volume of profiles. If you're more in a picky type of business where you need to provide a 2 but really good candidates, so I believe this is where you put a lot of efforts in, more reaching out the person, building this connection, and using the right place to contact this person.
Thank you for all the amazing presentation. Thank you for feedback, guys and girls in the chat. So it was a pleasure to spend an evening together. And thank you so much, Alla, for sharing and for spending an evening together with our community. I hope this is not the last time. So I'm gonna reach you out again with a personal touch, as well as you do with your candidates. And I will invite you once again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone, and happy sourcing.
Happy sourcing. Yeah. Thank you. Have a good evening. Bye.
See you.